right here. This is let's just say how the size of a market looks. Right here, these blue squares, that's how most people run meta ads. They find a sliver of their audience and they expand upon it and they make their entire business around this positioning. And they create lots of variations, lots of different hooks for this, and dress it up in lots of different ways. But ultimately, no matter how many hooks, no matter how many different headlines, different thumbnails, different first sentences of your VSLs, different VSLs that you run on Meta, if it's in the same conversation, using the same language, this is what happens. You end up using just a tiny bit of the market that's available to you, and you have all these other people that you can access. So this represents a single positioning point, right? You have one positioning point, and you could have 1,000 variations to that positioning point, but good copy that should convert stops converting because you're not tapping into all this other part of your market. And you're trying to make everybody that can convert here. So what do you need to do? Well, Meta, the algorithm, has always been about diversity. But now more than ever, creative diversity is what allows you to tap into more. So if you add 3 positioning points, then all of a sudden you have more access to your larger market. In other words, more people to raise their hands and self-identify. Now, remember, creative is how you're telling Meta who you help the most. You're telling Meta the words they're using, the way they're thinking. So let's talk about awareness levels. When you meet people at high awareness levels, you are much more likely gonna convert them. If everything is top of funnel, and you're going after all your markets only top of funnel, then even when you have access to more of your market than if you're just running a single positioning point, you're still going to run into trouble. When you expand your positioning points and you are reaching different ways of talking to different people who are telling different stories about the same problem, different ways of talking about your offer, you're helping Meta reach out to more people, more relevant eyes for your offer. Now, if you don't do that, and all of your variation is within this area right here, then all the stuff, all the copy that you write starts becoming white noise. It's like, heard it before, give me something new. It's what the algorithm's trying to tell you. The problem is most people don't listen. And so they keep, well, this worked. It should keep working. And it might for a while. But most offer owners who write their own copy or work with copywriters, when you go after just this small sliver of your market, see diminishing returns. You run more ads, fewer of them work, then fewer, then you're like on the search for the next one that's please work. Is it going to be this one? You throw up a new ad, there's 4 variations, you've got 50 of those going, and nothing's really converting. Okay, so, within this space, let's say you add advertorials and VSLs and quizzes, assessments, right? Now, does that mean this is going to convert more? Well, this is still your TAM. This is your still total addressable market. If you're writing for this market and you are not expanding it or using different ways, specificity points, different ways of making that positioning come alive with archetypes and symbols, things of that nature, different ways of using your heuristic puzzle pieces, the elements I've used to produce over $2 billion in copy or in profits through copy. So what I do, and that's why, by the way, I did this yesterday. I created all of these positioning points for Nello Super Focus. So, we have all these positioning points. And so each one I go down, I have new opening lines. I can create new ads, new entire ads that are the dog whistle language of that archetype, of the symbol that I'm using, right? And when we look at these things, to like ADHD, okay, so there's lots of different types of people who have ADHD who are going to raise their hands at different things. So we want to expand across all different archetypes, right? But that's just one positioning point. And within that positioning point, you want 20 different ads with 20 different first lines, and then 20 more ads completely original with their own UX, their own new first lines, their own new headlines, their own new text hooks for the static image or for the thumbnail of your VSL and the first line of your VSL or content creator video. And you need to do that for menopause, right? So now how many archetypes are in the menopause space? What's their symbols? What are their symbols? What are their dog whistle language? What's their dog whistle language sound like? What words do they use? What stories are they telling about the problem you can help them solve? And that creative is going to then go over here, and now we have 3 positioning points. So now our creative is reaching a larger TAM with a much larger likelihood of converting. But not if you treat menopause the same as you do ADHD, right? That's not going to convert. So then, that matters on the advertorials, that matters on the landing page. So you can have a universal landing page, but you also need to be testing more specific pages to see what markets are a treasure chest that you can open up and expand on that addressable market more. And then that addressable market more. And then you add even more positioning points. Rinse and repeat. Now we need ads with alternative UX, different iterations, different variations of that ad. And then we need different advertorials. We need different VSLs, maybe a different landing page or a variation of our landing page that does have at least some added specificity about that positioning point, right? Then you can add even more positioning points. Now you have access to a huge amount of your addressable market, which brings your overall ad costs down. And because you have more ads converting, you're exponentially scaling. You're scaling like an upside down pyramid rather than just vertical, right? So this is how you do it. This is the creative diversity that it takes. And I'm curious, how many of you all know how to do this? If you came from the white hat world, this still is probably foreign to you. If you come from the black hat world, you're like, the fuck? What's Pachetti going on about? I thought he was a good copywriter. The best in the fucking world. Because no matter who I work with on this level, I know I'm going to help them win. Now, let me be clear about something. If you pay me or any copywriter to write a single asset for your meta ads, and you've already dug your TAM, you've already mined that, and you're trying to mine it deeper. Hey, Pachetti, conversions fell off the cliff. I need you to figure out how to make these people buy again. But your product, your offer can reach these people too. We can reach them all, and we can reach them individually. And when we, again, increase those positioning points, we can reach more people. Reach more people. Yes, we need more assets, but when you train your ChatGPT, your Claude, whatever chatbot you're using are bots like me, then you're able to train in all of these different spaces, and you're able to get fully designed, ready to go assets. And let's just say you start with 3 after only being at 1. And you're like, I only have that much ad spend. Well, you can mine these a lot more efficiently when you're running 3 at the same time. Now, I know 6 positioning points might sound overwhelming or even intimidating, knowing what assets that you need to feed it in order to make it work and to not just convert, but scale, because that's our objective, scaling, not just, ooh, we're converting and then it stops. Ooh, it stopped. Okay, things are going good. Oh, shit, right? How many times have you heard that from your clients, from other people's clients, from your own business? When you run only one positioning point and you mine that TAM. You need more addressable market to raise their hands. And this is how you do it. I'm like laying this out for you, making it easy to then go over here and start getting all of your positioning points and then specificity points and archetypes and symbols and alternative UX or different iterations of that first line or different ways of saying the same thing with all your ads. Because remember, those creative is what tells the algo who to get. It's a mirror. So what reflection do you want to see? And you get to choose that. And that's actually a lot of power that most people do not take advantage of when they're dealing with the meta algorithm. Love to know what you guys think. Let me know.